Yep.
I wrote a speech about what's happening with the closure and all that.
Oh, do you work for the paper? Or?
Well, I'm an amateur YouTuber, but my grandfather.
What channel? I love YouTube.
Kevin Eagle's my name.
Kevin Eagle?
On YouTube.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna make a note of that.
my grandfather used to come here all the time. For like ever since the place opened. He died about a year ago. His name was Earl.
You said Kevin Eagle, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Look at that big burger.
I know. I thought about getting the double, but I was afraid I wouldn't be able to finish it all.
So are you doing a special on your channel about the restaurant?
Yeah.
Are you a local YouTuber?
That's right. Well, actually, I had a couple questions, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Like, how long ago did you find out the restaurant was going to close?
A couple days ago.
Really? So no notice, just out of the blue, or did you anticipate?
He made his final decision Tuesday night. Yeah.
And that's due to declining sales?
Yes. Yeah, he bought this establishment 22 years ago. This establishment opened up 53 years ago in 1965. The original Withams opened up catty-cornered from the Lithia building, the blue one, across from the park in 1922, or 1924. And then they moved over here in 1965, and they decided to expand. So it went from that to this whole entire building. There's one Withams alive, left.
From the Witham family?
Yep, he's the last one.
Was it one of Rod's grandchildren? Or?
Yes.
Well, that's what I figured. Anyway, well, thanks for that.
Yeah, of course.
I'm at Witham's Restaurant in Medford, Oregon, where I've just learned that after almost 54 years, the restaurant is getting ready to close. And that's a real sad thing. Witham Truck Stop Restaurant is closing its doors after 54 years of service in the Rogue Valley. The restaurant was only part of a larger business complex that began operating several decades before that. It all started in 1923 when Witham's Battery and Electric, the region's first automotive electric store, was launched. Later, the business was called Witham's Super Service, and at the end of World War II, the family began selling trucks and became known as Witham's Parts and Equipment. Witham Truck Center has been a Freightliner dealer since 1954, selling new and used trucks and parts, providing a service, garage, and machine shop. The truck stop was opened in 1965. Affectionately known as Witham's, it was originally owned and operated by Harlan Witham and his son Rod. Under Rod's leadership, Witham Truck Center became one of the largest heavy-duty truck dealerships in Southern Oregon. Rod passed away in 2013 at the age of 89. Despite decades of financial success, the truck stop petrol station, a 76 station, announced it was going out of business in September 2018, citing rising fuel costs and competition as reasons for the closure. Now, 5 months later, the restaurant is closing up shop too. Witham's is widely known for its Double Awesome Burger, which features 2 one-pound beef patties. If you can scarf down the burger and a half-pound pile of French fries in under an hour, you'll win a free Witham's t-shirt. It's a popular challenge that I myself have attempted and won. Witham's has been an important part of my family history since it first opened back in 1965. My grandfather, a wonderful and great man named Earl Potriff, worked at a nearby Pape Cat machinery as a mechanic, where he would work for the next 30 years until his retirement. In fact, he started working at Pape the same year that Johnny Carson began hosting The Tonight Show in 1962. He would always stop by Witham's every day after work to unwind with his colleagues and socialize with his friends, where they would drink gallons of coffee and participate in many animated discussions about topics that ran the gamut from their livelihoods, machinists, mechanics, and the like, to bowling, hunting, auto racing, and of course, politics. Naturally, he brought his wife and kids there too for dinner, sometimes. Years later, he brought me to Witham's as well. Sadly, my grandfather passed away just 2 days after his 87th birthday back in November of 2017. The last time we were at Witham's together was just a couple of months prior to his death. I always wish my grandfather would have lived forever. Likewise, I also hope that the restaurant he loved would also endure for the rest of eternity. But it appears that fate, in its own ironic way, isn't going to let that happen. It does seem fitting somehow that now that my grandfather is no longer with us, Witham's time has also come. Witham's restaurant was Grandpa's port in the storm for a lot of years. I'm grateful to Witham's that my grandfather had a friendly place to spend his time after enduring the long and grueling days at his workplace. He made a lot of wonderful memories and forged meaningful relationships with people while relaxing at Witham's Truck Stop Restaurant. He was always the life of the party, and there's no telling how many lives he touched during the decades that he spent there. The sudden closure of Witham's is a devastating loss for the citizens of the Rogue Valley and an incalculable, profound personal loss for me. Since my grandfather's passing, I have always believed that he left a piece of his soul behind at Witham's. As long as the restaurant existed, my grandfather would continue to exist too. Words cannot express how sad I am that Witham's will soon be no more. I ask you, is it really too late to save Witham's? Surely someone out there has some brilliant ideas about how to revitalize the company. The Witham family legacy, which as I said before, spans almost a century of profitable business right here in Medford. It doesn't deserve such an ignominious and frankly unceremonious end. We owe it to ourselves and our posterity to find a solution to prevent Witham's from closing their doors forever. There, I had to write that down because there was no way I could speak from the heart. I'd be rambling a lot, out of focus. But so, being that this is essentially Witham's last week of operation, actually, I guess they're closing in just short of 2 weeks, February 6th. And then it's all over. So I decided that my last meal from Witham's would be an awesome burger. I thought about getting the double, but it's 2 pounds of meat, and then half a pound of fries, and probably another half pound or so of lettuce, tomato, and onion. It's just a lot of food. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to eat it all. Besides, I've already conquered it. I don't want to revisit it, just in case I don't make it. That would be embarrassing. But as always, Witham's has the best hamburgers around. Where else can you get even a 1 pound? I mean, where? Nowhere, that's where. Boston burger. This is the very last meal I'll ever have at Witham's restaurant. And it's been an important part of my life for the last 39 years that I've been alive. And of course, my grandfather started coming here when he was 35. And so this is the last bite, the last meal. I wanted to make it a good one, and in retrospect, I am very glad I didn't order the double because right now I am stuffed. This last bite's gonna be tough to go down, and it's just a little bite, but we're gonna do it. I just had to observe the end of an era. It's really unfortunate.
Kevin,
Yeah.
Brenda's talked to you, right? And it's your grandfather Earl, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just got off the phone with her. She stated that she wanted to get that photo back to you. She can't for the life of her at the moment remember where it is in the office, but she said that if you come in tomorrow, she'd like to give it back to you.
All right.
And talk to you a little bit.
And so I've just completed the final meal that I'll ever eat at Witham's here in Medford, Oregon. And that's a very sad thing. I'd just like to thank Witham's for being so kind to my family over the years and for taking great care of my grandfather for the last 53 odd years that he was a customer in this restaurant. So with that, I wish the employees of Witham's the best of luck, and for the rest of you, I wish you a very heartfelt good night.